flakes, falling all around in achromatic sheets of bleary chalk. Also, there is his gray sock, Paul's gray sock, sitting in the left pocket of her parka, which she has been carrying around for the last few days. Why am I so stupid? She asks herself again. Why do I keep wanting to be with him? Her face is an abject expression of disgust, mouth twisted to the side in a frown, narrow eyebrows raised. Is it just because I'm not supposed to? Is it just because he's married? Is it just because I thought I had the world by the balls and I always end up making a mess of everything? Her green bicycle, unable to answer, only vibrates with rage. At a stoplight. Odile pauses a block later at a stoplight, which has become obscured by ice. She looks over and sees a bus idling beside the curb. On the side of the bus is an advertisement for some men's hair dye that promises to be so ferocious. Odile grabs the silver paint marker from the pocket of her green coat and uncaps the pen and leans over and draws a pair of enormous silver breasts on the male model in the advertisement, and then adds a pair of hairy, dangling, unkempt testicles between his legs. Beneath this pictogram, she writes, "You are an idiot, Paul." She then caps the pen, shoves it back into her pocket, and rides off through the uninterrupted snow. A nose unlike her mother's. Odile has dark hair, which runs just past her shoulders, a wide forehead, which is framed by uneven bangs she cut herself, and a pair of gray-blue eyes that are set several inches apart in a soft, heart-shaped face. The size of her eyes, larger than most girls', lends a quality of constant amazement to all of her facial expressions. Her ears are attached to her head at a spot lower than average, and are also a little wider, suggesting an elfish affectation, though this is hardly noticeable, as it's her large, gleaming eyes that draw you in. Her nose is neither long nor snub, and is rounded in appearance, as it often is on the faces of girls of European descent. Her nose is unlike her mother's, who at first glance may appear to be the greater beauty, as there is a small bump along the left side of the bridge of Odile's nose, imperceptible to anyone who has not spent an afternoon lying in bed beside her, listening to the song she loves the most, After Hours by the Velvet Underground, or admiring her profile in the dark of a theater, ignoring the black and white film by John Cassavetes. This very small bump is the consequence of an ice skating accident that occurred when Odile was 6, and, on deeper inspection, only adds to her attractiveness. It allows the viewer to wonder what other worlds, what other small pleasures there are to discover. Like the small beehive tattoo on her left wrist, which is so faint it's almost invisible. What does it mean? How old was she when she got it? Will she tell you about it if you sleep together? You look at it, and then up at her open mouth, at the sensitive lips, the lips rounder and somehow more adventurous than you noticed at first glance, the mouth already smiling, already laughing at something you said or did. At the moment, atop her bicycle, her mouth is partially occluded by a green scarf, though it's moving as she continues arguing with herself out loud. She curses at a cab driver and swerves past a woman with an incredibly wrinkly face, dressed in a gray fur coat. The woman's arms are piled high with packages, each of them tied nicely with a white string bow. "Your face looks just like an elephant's," she wants to say, but means it in the nicest possible way. And look out, there's another drift. But 10 years before, at the age of 12,